Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to welcome all of you guys from New Tech and, of course, all of you here on YouTube for your guys' continued support.
From Pew Research Center, U.S. journalists differ from the public in their views of both-sidism in journalism. Wow, what a profound statement. Journalists in the United States differ markedly from the general public in their views of both-sidism. Whether journalists should always strive to give equal coverage to all sides of an issue, according to a recent Pew Research Center study. A little more than half of the journalists surveyed, 55%, in case anyone was confused, anything just over 50% is a little over half, say that every side does not always deserve equal coverage in the news. By contrast, 22% of Americans overall say the same, whereas about three-quarters, 76%, say journalists should always strive to give all sides equal coverage. Have we not been talking about this on the BuzWeaver channel? This is why we take the difficult, the complicated, the tumult, the confusion, and explain to people how journalism or reporters or the news or the media, the legacy media, covers news. They're biased. In case anyone wasn't sure about it, this Pew Research Center survey indicates it quite clearly, as we have been saying here for quite some time. I'm sure that's not a mystery to anyone here. A new analysis of these survey findings shows that attitudes among both journalists and the public differ. Really? Really? Wow, imagine that. By age and political factors. Opinions among journalists also vary based on how they view the issues of misinformation, while opinions among Americans overall vary based on their trust in the news. Now, wouldn't you think that disinformation and misinformation would fall into that area of not all sides should deserve equal coverage? Don't you think that if you have an attitude where both sides don't deserve, or a particular side doesn't deserve equal coverage, doesn't that immediately scream that you may be inclined to misinformation and disinformation? That's the way it seems to me. And we can see here the breakdown. Journalists should always strive to give every side equal coverage. Journalists say 44% say no, but 55% say every side does not always deserve equal coverage. Then, of course, we have the 76% of adults who think they should, and 22% that agree with the media, which may factor in who we know are the 22% who agree with the media on that particular issue. It's absolutely extraordinary. And speaking of the media and misinformation, and then of course the various agencies or platforms that we have that are supposed to do all these types of fact checking, let's take a look at something that is very common here on my channel here, particularly when it comes to shorts, when I'm illustrating in many of my videos how Joe Biden or the Biden administration is dismantling our country, just systematically, slowly dismantling our country. Fact-checking Joe Biden on inflation rates among U.S. economic peers. Whether Biden is correct depends on how his wording is interpreted. How his wording is interpreted? What? He says something because he's the president, and then we either think that it's cogent, coherent, and common sense thinking, or it doesn't match reality. On the other hand, every other major industrialized nation has seen inflation spikes while well above pre-inflation levels. That may be so, but here in the United States, Joe Biden made decisions as president that have affected our economy. As a matter of fact, to put it simply, as I say to many people who respond to my shorts, who want to try to defend Biden, he placed all the burden on Americans by limiting our energy independence and putting a lot of pauses on a lot of things when it comes to our industry or in our energy independence, as well as raising taxes. Now, people can make the argument that raising taxes does help inflation. Yes, when you place the burden on Americans who are already burdened, when you place it on them, they're the ones who have to carry all the weight. And while we're still giving away money to many countries around the world, we're continuing to see this trend of Biden just slowly dismantling our country. However, the United States has seen its inflation rate spike higher than its most direct competitors. Yeah, of course, we've seen the decisions that Biden has made. When President Joe Biden sat down for an interview with the Associated Press, it was inevitable that the nation's 40-year high levels of inflation would come up. Yeah, no kidding. And I want everyone who likes to make the argument with me on my shorts, here it is right here, even from Politico, saying 40-year high level. During the interview, Biden said his policies are not to blame. Of course, they're specifically and directly to blame. Instead, he pointed to global conditions to show that the United States is not alone in facing such challenges of high oil prices, lagging supply chains during the pandemic, and disruptions from Russia President Vladimir Putin war in Ukraine. And here they were, trying to suggest that Putin was interfering with the election, which was a fabricated story about Russian collusion. So Biden is trying to throw blame on the rest of the world for his problems that he created himself, that he designed, based upon his decisions, based upon his particular executive orders. He did it. And it is happening, for those who keep asking if I'm kidding. It is happening right here, as of today, as of this recording, February the 2nd. Here's what the Fed interest rate hikes means for you. So they just raised the interest rates. The rate increase will likely make it even costlier to borrow for homes, autos, and other purchases. Well, it's hard to even find a car. I may have told you guys I sold my Jetta last summer, and when I was on the phone with the insurance agent, she mentioned to me if I was going to then purchase a new car. And I said I didn't really have any plans for it. And she says, well, that's good because some people are waiting 6 months to 18 months to get a brand new car. That's because of what's happening in Taiwan. And of course, we get a lot of our chips and a lot of our technology from Taiwan. And if anything happens there with China and Taiwan, we're going to be in huge trouble, even worse trouble than we are right now. The latest rate increase is smaller than the Fed's half-price rate hike in December, and its 4 straight three-quarter-point increase earlier last year. The showdown reflects the fact that inflation, while still high, is easing, and some parts of the economy seem to be cooling. Well, when you change one thing, it affects another. And so people try to compensate for this by saving, or those who did save may be making purchases. But that's still going to be a problem when it comes to shortages. Now, I would say that part of the problem when it came to shortages was also Joe Biden's intimidation and bullying of companies and industries and businesses across the United States that if they didn't get the jab, they would be fined, which was not enforceable. He knew it at the time. But he said it anyway, which is ridiculous and absurd. And now, of course, months later, we're all learning this, of course, that it was not enforceable because Jen Psaki had to say it. Apparently, when the administration has to admit their own faults, then people realize, oh, okay, that must be true then. I mean, can't people realize and recognize what's actually happening now? As we saw from the Pew Research Institute, the media says here, say that every side does not always deserve equal coverage in the news. We saw that during the entire Trump administration, that they don't deserve it. Yet here I am here on YouTube, having to battle the AI each time I come out with a video. Maybe even this video is going to have to contend with the AI limited ads. And of course, as of today, as of this recording, also February 2nd, our shorts will now be monetized. So just be ready. You're probably going to see a lot more shorts from me until we can get some stability going here as YouTube creators. But nonetheless, that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, where you can see my daily post, as well as the Amazon link if you guys are Prime members or order frequently from Amazon. You guys can use that link, go to the landing page, and search for what you're looking for. And of course, it helps out the channel. Here in 2022, thank you for the likes, the shares, for those on New Tech, as well as here on YouTube, and appearing right there on the screen for all of you watching on YouTube. That would be the channel icon. You can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys right there behind that camera next week.